Have you ever wondered why your life is the way it is? Why things happen the way they do? Perhaps even why it seems you can't escape certain situations, or you keep repeating the same patterns of behavior. You see, life is happening from us, so everything that we experience is a reflection of what is within. And so the moment we embark on a journey of self-discovery, begin seeing why everything that we experience, what is it saying about us? What is it trying to tell us? What is it about me that is creating certain things to happen in my life? And we might try and say, no, things happen to me and I'm a victim. In my life circumstance, it's because of somebody else. It's because of the system. There are other people in the system who live incredibly happily. Incredibly happily. So why not you? There are some people in the system who have all the money in the world. Why not you? There are some people in the system who have perfect relationships. Why is everybody getting divorced? Why does no one seem to be able to get along? There are people in the system who live perfectly healthy lives. Why not you? Maybe it is you. Why do some people fall to disease? Why do some people have so many problems? And others seem to live problem-free lives. Some people feel stuck. Some people feel free. But why? What is the big difference, huh? It's because life is flowing through you. And so whatever information you have in here and in here, in the mind and in the body, that is what you will experience out in the world. That life is being filtered through all of this information, and then it's being projected out onto the world. What you may come to find is that consciousness is the creative force of existence. It is the ultimate energy. It is the force of creation. And it is God. And so whatever that consciousness is being filtered through, that is what we create. That is what we give life to. Imagine that you have the power of God, except you just might have not been using it properly. And so it is those who do not claim authority over their power, these people who live in unconsciousness, they are destined to be slaves like animals. Because the people who have claimed their power, they understand how valuable it is. It is the most powerful resource in all of existence. That is energy and consciousness. These two are one and the same. And so people in power, they look at all the people at the bottom and they say, look at these animals. They spend their whole lives wasting their energy on things that don't even matter at all. They deserve to be slaves. They deserve to be taken advantage of. And so they create a system in which the masses become batteries in the matrix. That is what the story of the matrix means. Everybody is living in this unconscious dream, and they are being used for their energy. And it is not until you wake up from this dream, from this illusion, by realizing your God power, do you realize that you have complete control over the whole thing. It is only the limitations that we place on ourselves that keep us a slave. We are a slave not to the system, but to our own mind. That is where the matrix is. The matrix doesn't actually exist. It's a mental construct that we believe in. But since so many hundreds of millions of people have given it life, well, now it has some solidity. It has some life. We have created this monster, and it continues to feed off the energy of all the people. So its job is to keep you asleep, so you do not wake up and take your energy away. And so it is precisely because of this unconsciousness that we live a life that is not in our own hands. All of the things that have ever happened to us, and most of the things that we do, were never consciously created. Things just happen to us and we react. And so most of us live unfavorable lives. Lives that we do not truly desire. And then we cope and often fall into all kinds of self-destructive behaviors. Why? Because we have betrayed our own soul. And so we don't like ourselves very much. And so there is this unconscious desire to destroy our own selves. Because people who love themselves don't engage in self-destructive behavior. You cannot destroy something and love it at the same time. Which is why they say, if you see a flower, leave it alone. Because by plucking it, you kill it. It was never the flower that you appreciated, but it was the life within it. So too, when we are cut off from our own inner life source, we too wither away and die. And until we recognize that our energy is being stolen by forces beyond ourselves, then we will continue to wither and die and to create suffering for ourselves. And so it is where we direct our attention that determines where this energy flows. That is the purpose of the mind. Its purpose is to direct our consciousness, this force of creation. So the entire quality of our life is precisely determined by the quality of the things that we focus our attention on. And what you call the system is designed to make you focus on fear and negativity. Because when you focus on negative things, your energy is strained. Like a vampire, a force outside of you steals your energy, takes your life, gains power over you. It uses your own power to control you. That is what the system does. You see, the whole game is a game of power and control. Money is just a means to an end. Because energy is the true resource. It is the true source of all value. And so the moment you take your energy away from the things you do not want to experience, the moment you begin taking control of your focus and attention, is the moment you stop feeding this beast. And it is not just a system. The system is nothing more than an illusion, but it is a cosmic beast of negativity and destruction. The system is like its plaything. And so the moment you take your energy away, it loses its power and loses its control over you. But that is this game of life and in the universe, is that there is this force of chaos that is always trying to keep you in illusion. And there is the force of order or the force of God that is always trying to wake us up. And I don't see these things as good or bad. It's just the divine play of life. People look at the system as evil because it uses and abuses people. But the fact is that it was all designed this way. It's exactly the way things are supposed to be. Because without a villain, there is no hero. And without a hero, there is no story to be told. Without contrast, there is no experience, there is nothing. And so it is the dynamic play between good and evil that gives life meaning. It gives life purpose. And it is naive to say that evil should not be, because by doing so, by eliminating evil, you also eliminate the whole universe. You eliminate everything. This does not mean that we don't fight against evil if you are the hero that is your job. But in truth, the only villain, the only evil is unconsciousness. It is not the system. It is not the force of the demonic. It is not the devil. It is precisely our own ignorance of the truth. If you identify yourself as the hero, you automatically attract the villain because they are one and the same. And sometimes the hero dies. It's like people who try to attack the Matrix. If you were a computer virus, would you go into the computer and say, look at me, I'm a virus? You wouldn't do that because the computer would send antivirus to destroy you. So don't do that. That in itself is ignorance and unconsciousness, disguised as virtue. I am going to save the world. I'm going to help all these people. Your only job is to dissolve your own ignorance with the divine light of truth. And in doing so, you automatically become a beacon of light for a world in darkness. You do not have to do anything else, because life is already doing everything for you. You just have to direct it in the right direction, down the proper path. If there is a reality that you don't want to experience, don't focus your attention on that. Only focus your attention on your desired reality. Because there is good and bad in all things. It is not so much about what is true, but about what we choose to focus on. That's why they say the mind can make a hell out of heaven and a heaven out of hell. Because if you have 99 things going wrong for you, if you focus on the one thing that is right, you will transcend and escape whatever hell you might be in. But if you have 99 things going right, and you focus on the one thing that is not, then you will spoil your blessings and become like a fallen angel. So our life is exactly the way it is because of what we have chosen to focus our attention on. And not even chosen. It is simply because we have lived our lives in unconsciousness. But the moment you become aware and value your energy, you see where you are giving it all the time. And more you develop the power to say, I'm not giving my attention to that. You no longer bother with all these kind of negative things. You can't stand listening to negative people. You definitely can't watch the news. And all the garbage on social media becomes distasteful. Even your own thoughts. You might have some negative thoughts, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem is when we react to it and feed the negative thoughts. But the moment you say, oh, well, I don't care about the negative thought because I control my energy. I control my mind. I'm not going to send it in that negative direction. And in doing this, most of the negative experiences become irrelevant because you train your mind as a habit to seek out what is good, to seek out what is positive. But you see, most people, they have created a machine to focus only on problems and on negativity. And then, for some reason, they wonder why their life is so miserable, when it is so glaringly obvious, probably to everyone else. For those who have eyes to see, it rarely is anybody's fault, because when you are living in unconsciousness, you are not in control of your life. But it is one's responsibility to take your power back. Because the more we feed negativity, the more we create suffering, not only in ourselves, but in everybody we love, and in the whole world at large, because we are all connected. So we cannot hurt ourselves without also hurting everybody else. But it all begins by becoming aware of where your energy is going, by where you are allowing your attention to be focused.